XOXO01 still standing here in the playoff bracket among names like Zero Tenacity, like Reject, and like Pirates. So definitely ones to be feared here. You can't rule them out, playing out of the 5th seed from the group stage. But we are ready to rock here. Hell's Heaven up first for some domination action. And of course, up first, your dual Gambit bans. So no Gambit on the table. EXO, though, will take Mantis into this matchup here. Gonna see a lot of those same notes in these first few bans. It's really the back half of the drafts here that have been where the changes come through.
Where the changes come through, and we'll pull through in at the beginning there. Stock standard, going to see the Gambits taken away, and Mantis will be protected this time around. So far, so good. Could see the double-sided Elsa ban as well, and now is the moment where the changes will start to shine in. Well, we see focus over the Daredevil, we see focus over the Invis or Ultron. It's up to the players now to lock it down.
Yeah, complete push here so far, but again, this is where you'll start to see some deviations, and there's plenty on the table to deviate here. Invis hover for EXO, and they'll lock that in. Loki ban coming through for Zero Tenacity, so no God of Mischief on the table for EXO, but I imagine they'll be up to some other kinds of mischief here, no doubt, as Z10 taking that one-sided Loki to bear here. One more ban for Zero Tenacity, looking at the Ultron potentially, so no Strange ban. Vanpool on the table for Zero Tenacity as well. Walking away with plenty here as EXO taking Invis for their last save.
Yeah, so they'll be able to exchange those strategist picks there. Eager to see if we have a bit of a cloaky combination into this one, considering that they will have access to the Loki on the Z10 side here, and going to be curious what else will be matched with here as XD looks to lock in their Old Faithful, tried and tested on the Psylocke. Alone feels looking to match that energy all the same. So it's a mirror matchup almost on both sides. There are some little changes though. You know, you've got the White Fox for Beza there and the Invis on Ace. So curious which side will be able to find that initial presence as we dive deep into the map. But before everybody else gets to dive in with us, Diatonic, they get to enjoy some of the beautiful classic landscapes.
Yeah, plenty to look at here in the Hydra Charteris base, of course, as we load into this matchup. And you bring up an interesting point with Cloaky, right? You know, it's a pretty powerful combination considering Cloak and Dagger usually very safe in these drafts. It's always Loki that ends up being the one that gets the ban, unfortunately. So, you know, if you're able to find a way to make that Loki safe, we don't see a lot of teams banning in response to the C&D. So if you're able to come out the other side with Loki on the table, it feels like you can pretty much bring the Cloaky if you so choose. And of course, that matchup with Pirates and Reject, definitely a lot of momentum for those back-to-back Eternal Bonds here, but no Cloaky in the side here. We are ready. New series underway. Zero Tenacity, XOXO01 elimination match, and the winner will go to the lower bracket finals.
All on to this, and the games have begun. Mission area on the unlock within moments here. And let's see if anyone's going to be able to lock it down in the neutral. Wendy in big trouble. Does luckily manage to evacuate from that nasty situation, but Z10 might not be so lucky in a second. Already building up closely to the Banhammer, though. That could be a good start. Nexty going down is a good way to kick off here for EXO. Banhammer coming down, and they're already coming in swinging.
Yeah, definitely one player you want to see. Oh no, he dropped him right into the pit of doom alone, picking up the Wolverine and picking up right where he's left off in the past. Absolutely insane kidnap to start things off, and EXO got some teeth here. They'll take that first capture and already off to the races here. What a start.
What a start as they try and rip it apart, and EXO are going to be good so far. Will Z10 be able to match them around the corner, though? That's going to be proven. A big barrel leap from Alone Feels there. Collects Jerry and looks to do more where that came from. So they take it slow and steady onto this. And EXO, they're going to be in a comfortable position right now on the edge of a ton of ultimates. And their percentage is rising by the moment.
was going to say, really starting to build themselves a cushion here, and quite a surprise start for this Zero Tenacity team on the back foot here. And been seeing a lot of Logan here tonight. Big plays in the last series, and now already Alone Phil's on the Wolverine. Gonna look for another dive there, just barely misses, but trying to slice and dice through. Marvel on the Venom there, won't complete the KO here, but does force him to back down, and Exo able to protect their turf even more. Rester chasing down Wendy there onto the Mantis. Banhammer onto him to try and stop him dead in his tracks here, as Exo, they got the ults here. Do they have the talent? That they do. Z10 on the Vanpool will find Beister there on the critical as well, and take that selfie, get yourself that XP boost, as Ace moving on the Invisible Woman as well. One more KO. Exo 75% of the way captured, and so far Zero Tenacity do not have an answer for him.
No answers at the moment, maybe lost in the mail, but it could be returned to sender in a second. So they take it a slow and steady. Exo building up closely towards the edge of the line here. Z10 do have at least a few ults at their disposal that they can utilize to try and swing things back. Xe playing from a distance is big as well. Here we go. It's Jeff coming out here. Beza trying their best to play into the Kumiho Unleashed. Will shut down Resta, so already a solid start, taking down some of their strategists line up here, and looking to further that pursuit as well. Xe once again locking down the damage for days. Does get victimized by the last stand there, but they will survive through it. So going to be a solid focus from their team, and we'll be able to steam ahead in the KO department. Xe is unstoppable.
Yeah, game changer here on point number 1 for Zero Tenacity, playing it miles back, able to just shake the screen over and over again. Those spark procs coming in clutch, as Exo pretty grouped up there, so maybe gonna look to space themselves out and play a little bit more of a fan out type push forward here. A lot of their ults though did get used up. Of course, Zetha walking back from spawn, reset the Deadpool all, but they're ready for another fight here, and Soko on the move on the Vanpool this time. Both Vanpools getting some action in here, but it's Z10 taking the 2-for-1, favoring themselves. They're making a 3-for-1 as Jerry on the Lawyer of Hell's Kitchen there. Mad Murdoch moving different here. Soko as well on the Deadpool, and add one more to the photo album there, as Zero Tenacity coming back big.
In a big, big way, they sway things into action. Gonna be happy with that, and Z10 have plenty of ults to keep control over the mission area here as well. Can look this well ahead of it. Feast of the Abyss coming out to further their pursuit, and they will find a double KOs on to the strategists and rip apart everybody in their path. Taking a selfie with the maid pool costume as well. You'll love to see it, don't you?
Yeah, every single time, and every single time he gets those selfies snapped, a big XP boost. So Soko already building up that Deadpool super quick here on point number 1, but there's a problem here. Sungjuk Woo on the point, on the Venom. Nobody from Zero Tenacity inside. It's a race back to the point, but Exo will sneak it here. They make the flip. Overtime already in effect. Jerry having to let the devil out here on the Daredevil to try and turn the tide back their way, but what a play from Sungjuk Woo here to get Exo right back in the fight, but Jerry gonna look to clip their wings here. The Wendy will go down, the Jeff offline here, and now the 27 A's on the Jeff here, finding the ult, finding just one here, and will back it off, but Z10 body disadvantage for them, as Exo planting firm on the point one last time. They just need a little bit of a push to clear off this last second here, but even if Z10 are able to turn it around, it is not game over for them on checkpoint number 1. Sungjuk Woo gonna look to make a meal out of Z10, going for that Feast of the Abyss, but it's Marvel that's feasting here, finding one in the neutral and keeping it going here. Big dive onto the rest of Exo here as they are pushed back. Z10 back in control of the point just as quickly as you thought they were ruled out. They are right back in here, and Soko and Marvel delivering the hurt.
The pain is being inflicted over and over again. Z10 lock back in just when you think Exo take it back. Nah. Z10 are back to play here and look to hold on firmly to this mission area, and they do have that Feast of the Abyss ready and waiting if needed. Alone Phil's bringing out the dance of the Cutterfly. The backline is being sliced and diced here. Exo back on track. Feast of the Abyss being committed to this one to try and keep the fight going. Flow into this one. Beza bringing out the Strange as well. It's time to get that portal online. Wendy bringing us out the It's Jeff as well. See if they can create a bit of space here. Jerry goes down, but they will be able to stay in the fight. Portal up, and Wendy takes 2 strategists.
They walk through the portal right into the arms of EXO, right into the meat grinder here, but it's a 2 for 2, holding the invisible boundary here. Time taken away. Sungjuk Woo finds one at the end, but EXO will wrestle it away. What a tug of war. Double 99 overtime, and that's just point number 1.
Oh my days, Super Soldier Factory is online for XO. They didn't come here to mess around, they came here to play, and they will be able to gain that early control in their favor, keeping Z10 on their toes right now. Can you believe this? Z10 need to lock back in and quickly heading towards this second capture point here. Let's see if they can make it work. EXO, they already got the boundary advantage there and can further that with a Soul Resurgence around the corner, so early control could go into their favor unless Z10 can catch him in the neutral here.
I was going to say, interesting that EXO taking the Super Soldier Factory, because the whole team already looking like Super Soldiers out there, playing through the adversity there. It felt like it had slipped away from them for a moment, but they battle right back in. Again, that stealth retake from Sungjuk Woo, definitely rattling their cage a little bit, but Zero Tenacity, of course, a powerful team in their own right. They are here for a reason, and they are here to play this game all the way out. They're going to have to take both capture points here, but EXO not going to give them even a chance to breathe here. Alone goes over to the Psylocke and already paying dividends here. Ace will find one on the Invis as well. Zero Tenacity caught off guard here. The strategist offline, and it'll be EXO's point to take.
Their time to play once again. They gain that early control and will stroll ahead of it. So going to be happy to get that early motion that they need. Jerry ready to let the devil out if required as well. Exy around the corner here. Z10 need to find the best path forward, going around the side of the mission area. Terry was looking to activate there, gets shut down before they can lock in. A Banhammer coming down from Zeta as well, doing the best they can here, but one by one, Z10 are getting unraveled here. XO are just blowing it all together and building up all that more percentage while they're at it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a bit shaky, a bit risky for EXO, but they continue to initiate as soon as possible, trying to keep that pressure on and keep Zero Tenacity off balance so they can continue to win the fights like this. Here we go, Sungjuk Woo going for a Feast of the Abyss here. Will get a little bit of damage down, but no KOs coming out of that one. Exy got a Dance of the Butterflies here. Jerry gonna let the devil out, but the only devil here is Zatha on that Deadpool, finding another KO for EXO here. 50% of the way captured for them, and there is no end in sight to this onslaught from EXO. EXO 0-1 here. Alone's got a Dance of the Butterflies ready as well. Gotta watch out though. Shark in the water for Zero Tenacity as that hits Jeff is ready to go here, but it's Exy on the Psylocke will find Zatha, and now a comeback here. A bright spot for Zero Tenacity. That Dance of the Butterfly from Alone, unfortunately, no value out of that one, and Z10 are gonna look to try and take here.
Try and take it as confidently as they can. Good stall coming out from the Sungjuk Woo, though. Will stall it out to get them towards 79% and not going to be able to get to 80, but at least Z10 have a little bit more flexibility here. They can gain their own control, close the gap, but if EXO takes it, it's going to be not that much distance to cover here. So Z10 have to really focus up and keep that control as long as they can. Speaking of, is the Abyss trying to get activated, but it gets cancelled there. Marvel not going to be able to do anything. Beza good with the Kumio Unleashed. A boundary coming up. It's Jeff as well, trying to shut down XC. They will be able to catch them. Looking to take away straight into the spawn. Oh no! Truth 7 Days is here with the plays.
Walks them right back to home base and shuts them down here. Now they're going to look to try and capitalize, make the retake here. Soko's got the Banhammer up and running here. They are going to try to fend off EXO, but as a couple members walking it back here, going to be a tough 4v6. Not to fear for too long, though. Z10 is here in full force and in the water. Windy there on the Jeff. Going to look for the ultimate there. Sungjuk Woo, though, finding Jerry, the Daredevil Sin, all the way back to square one. Marvel, of course, going to look to make him a meal here. Goes for the Feast of the Abyss. Cannot quite make it happen, though, and great timing on that symbiotic resilience from Sungjuk Woo, able to stay alive here and in the fight with the rest of the team. Rester goes for, finds one KO onto the Deadpool here. Finally, Exy got the Dance of the Butterflies online, ready to go here, looking for that all-important zoning, but Zatha's got Baser's number here, sending the White Fox back, and they will follow up on it. Alone gonna take one. Exy tries to battle back here, but it's a double KO for EXO's Psylocke here. They will make the retake, but Zero Tenacity do take the lead by a couple percent.
will take the lead just by a little, lost it just as quick as it is gained there. So EXO going to be on the floor, ready to go for more into this, and they have the ult advantage and the percentage advantage in their favor. Z10 need to find KOs in the neutral here to shut down any potential, but already Alone feels ready with the dance of the butterfly. Ace goes down first, though. That's a good response from Z10, and Soko is locking in here, finds the double, looking to catch more as well. Zetha in big trouble. Axie's good for it, 2 for 2. Z10 are pulling through into this one and looking to clean them out one after the other. OT now diminished. Z10 are back.
Yeah, back in the driver's seat one more time here, and Soko bouncing on the heads of EXO like it's nobody's business there on the Vanpool, and it is yet again going to be a race to the finish, but they're going to be down one. Alone, sniped out by a baser in the back rooms here, and going to look for even more KOs on the White Fox here. Jeff Alt coming out from the side of EXO now. It's Jeff here looking to find some kind of snack from Zero Tenacity. Don't know if they actually found anything, but Exie finds Zetha here into the clutch. Overtime starting to tick down there, making a double KO for the Psylocke on the side of Zero Tenacity. Marvel gonna put even more pressure on him with that Feast of the Abyss. Double KO for the White Fox. It's a double-double, and it's Z10 taking them all the way to point 3.
Oh yeah, Mr. Diatonic, we got a game on our hands again! Woohoo! We love it, everybody! And we are going to the third and final capture point here on Hell's Heaven. The frozen airfield, it ain't frozen anymore, it's defrosted, because this game is heat!
I was going to say, flames everywhere here from both sides of the board. They are hungry to stay alive. Again, this is an elimination match, and they are playing like it here. No holds barred so far by either side. But again, another race to the finish that could go anybody's way there on point 2. So it's a dead even heat here between both of these teams. Heading into checkpoint number 3, Zero Tenacity, they've got one ult on a line. That's the Jeff ultimate, but a Dance of the Butterflies and a Kumiho Unleashed not too far behind. EXO won't have anything right out of the gate, though. Ace should get that invisible boundary charged up pretty quickly there, so maybe going to be a bit of a push here as they get ready to fight for the final checkpoint here on map 1.
Ready to push and see which enemies you can pull away from this one as they take us to the high ground. Z10 got the vision locked in as well. Jerry ready and waiting for the flank here, and it looks to play around their fellow Venom player. Won't be able to lock it in as yet, though. Immediately countered. A good boundary from Ace there, now forcing the activation of the Kumiho Unleashed from Beza, and cleaned out immediately. Good with the Cutterfly coming out from Exie. Marvel playing straight into it. Triple into quad KO across the board there. That's one way to sweep the board, my man, and they are feeling good about that.
Yeah, not even a Feast of the Abyss either. A Feast of the neutral game for Marvel there. Triple KO, and it's huge here for Zero Tenacity. They will take checkpoint, or they'll take the first point here, the first capture, that is. A couple of bright spots for EXO in that fight. A big sleep for Rester. Unfortunately, just not able to capitalize on it here. So, gotta pull their heads together here and play as a team if they want to take down Z10 here on Hell's Heaven. But already out the gate here, Soko kneecapping EXO as their Invisible Woman off a line here. Alone, gonna even the odds here. They'll find Jerry 1% off from letting that devil out, and he'll go overhead for the Insong Inferno. Comes down, no KOs off of that one, but at least enough pressure here to try and give EXO an opportunity to reposition themselves and try to sink their teeth into this next point.
They are going to be chewing us straight into it right now. My goodness. EXO trying to push in. It's double feasts right now. Everybody's dining into this one, but Jerry going to take the first bite there. Ace goes down and will be brought back by the Cocoon, though, but Sungjok Woo going to be taking it back in motion. The Devil coming out as well. Jerry not playing around into this one, trying their best to string that damage together. Zetha barely holding on. Will, luckily for them, stay into the fight, but Ace not so lucky this time, and they're going player for player here, but it's Z10 taking control.
Yeah, absolutely. Wresting every ounce of control away from Exo and keeping the hurt on alone. Forced to back up out of that corridor there, but he will find a double KO there. Takes Marvel as the second one, but Exy and Soko right back in that KO feed, putting Zero Tenacity right back in that driver's seat one more time here. Quickly approaching the end of this map here is Zero Tenacity. They've got a couple ults to show for it as well. Meanwhile, Exo stuck playing out the neutral game, and you know that Cutterfly from Exy gonna come in massive here. Dance of the butterflies. Meanwhile, on the point though, Zaytha dancing around on the Deadpool. They don't have any idea he's there, but finally they'll get it to OT. Exo trying to run it back to the point here, but I don't think they can make it.
Oh, it's going to be so close, but they will get there in the end. Somehow, some way, they're right on the edge of the knife here, but not long enough. Exy delivers the KO blow, and that, everybody, is going to be Z10 taking Hell's Heaven.
Well, definitely a bit of a slip and slide there for Z10. Maybe not the way they were expecting this series to start out, but they take the map win here in the end. I thought Song Chuk-woo saved that team again. Definitely bought him a second or two, but the rest of the team just a bit too far behind to catch up there. And it is Exy getting yet another MVP, one in a pile of many for him there on the Psylocke. Z10 definitely fighting back there after a bit of a rough start, and the scoreboard does not lie either. 30s down the line for this squad. 18 final hits off of 39 eliminations for Exy, who will take the most damage in the match as well. Insane turnaround for Z10, and that shows you why. Definitely number 2 seed coming out of the group stage.
Looking strong, looking good into this one, and the hard work has only just begun here. XO are taking it to them, my man. Everybody is locked in and taking it serious as ever. Just look at these replays right now. All the best plays coming through there and doing the very best they can. What a blessed game we've started off with.
Yeah, and props to our replay ops, because how do you pick what plays to put in this montage? So many from both sides of the board. KO after KO. These teams went to war here, and it is just the start of the series. Map number 1. It's going to go Z10's way, but what a close one there. A double 99 overtime on point 2. So Exo almost could have closed this thing out uncontested, but Z10 ekes him out here and will walk away with Hell's Heaven. I have a feeling this is going to be another long series ahead of us.
Oh, well, I'm ready to go all the way, Diatonic. I want to see all 5 maps. Come on, let's do it. We'll see if they make that reality into action here, whether that's going to be the time stream we end up on. But for now, we're going to take a break on a little bit of another time stream while we get our second map set up. Everybody, don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it. Thank you very much. Slice and dice. Ancestral sword. Strike! Taste cold steel. Time to make the undead dead again. Curse thee, vile creature! Well done. Perhaps I'll give you the key to the city after this.
I shall feast on your bones! Ratatosker? What did Dracula do to you? You've got to fight, girl!
You truly believe yourself my equal? Pathetic. you have my thanks. But your vigilante antics have violated the law. You're under arrest.
Never falls! Oh, quel dommage. Little look.
Well, I hope you're ready here. Zero Tenacity and XOXO01 facing off and gave us a heater there of map 1 on Hell's Heaven. So, again, I think we are looking at we didn't get the 5 maps on the last series, so maybe this one will go all the way.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it there this time. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And it looks like we are getting into another map. It's Yggdrasil Path, the next one on rotation here. You love to see the old Classico.
I was gonna say, we saw a lot of Yggdrasil Path through a lot of Ignite last year. I haven't seen it as much this season so far. Definitely pros very comfortable with this map. A lot of teams kind of solved this one here, and you just don't see it pop up too much. I was expecting Museum of Contemplation, personally.
Yeah, no museum this time. Maybe later into the series if we get there. Maybe we'll go back to the museum. For now, we're going to have a night off the museum, so lucky us. Oh, I'm thankful. We've seen too much museum. It's time to go to another landscape.
Very true. It's nice to have the change up, and I'm curious to see how this progresses here, right? We expected Zero Tenacity right out of the gate, take no prisoners, and it was definitely an uphill battle for both teams on Hell's Heaven. EXO right out the gate, they take the first point, they get to a double 99 overtime on the second. Z10's able to just barely squeak by there, and then third point, they definitely looked better, a lot more comfortable and confident on that one. So, not exactly the close race we were expecting between these two, at least to start out. So, EXO definitely making themselves a credible threat here.
Yeah, really showcasing their strengths into this one and their adaptability to their opponents, whatever they throw at them. Even when EXO made them look a lot more mortal after taking that capture point there, Z10 managed to lock it back in, regain their focus, and managed to take the train all the way back home. So, going to be a great way to get control of the series from the early stages here, but eager to see how things shift heading into the second map here, whether Yggdrasil Path is where EXO finds their strengths once again, their time to shine. Maybe they look to bring out the infamous Spider-Man.
Yeah, we have not seen it yet, and something we have seen from EXO a lot tonight are these interesting kind of role swaps. Last match you saw Sungjuk Woo on the Venom from start to finish on Hell's Heaven. Maybe not what you're expecting to see, but again, we, at least for myself, I consider these guys to be the loose cannons here in the Asia region. You have no idea what they're going to throw at you, so some role swaps here to try and kind of pull the rug out from under your opponents. And, I heard CB and Liger talking about it, and, it's very difficult to try and adapt to because, the opponents you may have expected to face are not on the roles you thought they would be. So I like the change-ups there. It definitely shows how versatile and experienced those guys are over there on that EXO squad. But we are ready. Convoy here. Yggdrasil Path is the next location. Gambit, the first one taken off the board, of course. Invis save from EXO to start things off, so they definitely want to take advantage of some invisible boundaries this run.
Yeah, the boundaries are going to stay up this time, will not be taken down, but Mantis is going to be taken away from EXO nice and early, so heavy focus on the strategist lineup for Z10 at the moment. Can take a single-sided Elsa if they want, may shift directions to something else entirely though, as they look to contemplate their next steps forward. There we go, Elsa going to be locked in. EXO, the next ban is in your court, probably going to match the Mantis.
Yeah, I mean, if Elsa is on the table for Zero Tenacity, for Xe specifically, you know they gotta take it here. Absolutely deadly on the Monster Hunter. So a big plus here into this second map draft for Z10. And Matsu, you got some psychic powers over there. Definitely called the Mantis Mirror to be sure. And I have no doubt Z10 gonna want to take that Elsa one-sided here. Exo gonna man out the Ultron, so gonna look to take away some more of those damage boost options there, because you do not want all that damage amplification to funnel into that Elsa. She is raid boss enough as is.
Yeah, trying to diminish those returns as much as possible there. We'll be looking to match the Invis for Invis, though, on the Protector line here. No Elsa for Exo, however. They can look to play into the Daredevil, but they're thinking about taking away either the Fox or the Estrange there. Looks like they will be able to minimize the Fox because they realize how key and critical that is to the Z10 lineup here. So taking that away from Beza could harm them a little bit. One more ban for Z10, no.
Yeah, very interesting. You don't see White Fox get hit too much in these drafts, but yeah, I think definitely targeted Baser's direction here and maybe going to look to return a little bit of fire here. They're going to save that Strange for themselves. They did not have access last time. They don't want to lose those portal recontests. They do not want to lose that team up as well because they basically save the Invis Strange team up for themselves here. Of course, you know, the big kind of white hot spot over on the side of Z10's draft being that Elsa Bloodstone. Xy's already got it locked in here, as you can see. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that Monster Hunter and a lot of the Monster Piercer here on Yggdrasil path. But draft complete here. Exo definitely saved themselves some things. I like where they're going here. I think, you know, that bringing the Doctor Strange team up, not a bad option. They got access to the portals here, but maybe I was wrong because Xe last second swap over to the Wolverine potentially.
I'm liking what I'm seeing there, and having the single-sided Groot as well certainly can strengthen them on their defensive and also attacking side there. So curious to see how they will approach this one. And it looks like Sung Chuk Woo is taking focus at exactly what I thought they might look at on this map, and that is Spider-Man. Whether they lock it in the long term, though, we'll see how that plays out. I don't know if Resta's going to stick it out on the Rocket either here. You know, maybe playing for the earlier shielding here and then look to play into something further. But it's the Primal Flame coming out from Exo that could be exactly what they need. They've got that Penny team up as well in the early stage. Could be a portal play early, but not quite yet.
Yeah, and you know, normally for a lot of other players holding on to Spider-Man in the spawn room, I would say, yeah, that's going to be a swap. But with Sung Juk Woo, potentially one of the linchpins of this team, no dice here, though, sticking to the Vanguards for now, as he's going to come in on the Captain America, and Zatha going to come in big, one pick onto Jerry, so Elsa sent all the way across the map, back to spawn here. Very solid opening salvo here from Exo, and they are just going to run it right down the lane. Pressure, pressure, pressure here for this Exo team. Wolverine dive onto the Zatha, but a quick hop from the Strange and gonna try to get himself out of there.
Get themselves out of there and to be able to race their way forward just a little bit more. Exo trying their best to claw their way through. Xe ready to collect them. Feral Leap puts them in a heap there, but not going to be able to sweep up the KO. The damage still looking to build up slowly but steadily here. Lone Pill's in a bit of trouble, maybe taken out. Wendy, good for it. Damage from a distance does enable Z10's defense here, and looking to get more. Jerry takes to the floor.
Yeah, a bit of a kneecap here for Exo. Half the team offline, so gonna be stopped here for now. 1:15 off the clock for them. Still enough time for them to get back up and get back into the fight, of course. But Zero Tenacity trying to build a little bit of rhythm here and disrupt what Exo is going for. They've got a couple of strategist ults online, so maybe they can commit to a neutral fight here, but they just don't have anything in the tank damage output-wise. So gonna have to see where Exo decides to try and get into the fight here. They are staring down a Strangling Prison from Marvel, of course. And Zero Tenacity in control of the cart for now. Exo will flip it right back their way. So no way in for Exo quite yet here.
Yeah, no openings at the moment. Marvel trying to enable the Strangling Prison there. Now almost countered. Jerry good to shut down Sung Juk Woo though, and more to follow. Dance floor coming out from Resta, however, matched by the boundary. Gonna take it slow and steady. Zatha could bring out the Agamotto, but no, lost dead. Xe, rip and tear. Jerry joining in as well. That's one way to dispel your attackers with great haste.
You know, I thought for sure it would be the Elsa here for Xe, but that last second swap over onto the Wolverine paying dividends for Z10. They win another one, and now just that quickly, Exo already down to just a minute and 30 seconds of their time here. Alone does have the last stand on and ready to go. 27 A's, of course, got the Insong Inferno, so they've got some damage here, and they've got an Eye of Agamotto, so they've got a little bit of a combination brewing for Zero Tenacity, but you could say much the same for them here, as they've got that Apex Predator ready to roll there. That is Jerry piloting the Elsa this time around. Just a bit of a brawl here as Exo, a little bit of cold feet, trying to play it close to their chest, but Jerry not going to let that happen here. Apex Predator does pick up some of Exo, and they will go down here. Wendy finds the KOs, finishes them off. Sung Wu got the freedom charge here, trying to keep the members that are there still alive and still on their feet. 27 goes up for the Insong Inferno, but no dice here as that KO feed looking bright blue here, and all Zero Tenacity. 45 seconds for Exo to try and make a play.
Not much time left available to them here. They need to lock in as quick as lightning on this one. They got the Agamotto, the boundary at the ready, but Z10, they're ready to match them with whatever they choose here. You know, they're pretty close to their own boundary. Strangling Prison could isolate them out of place as well. They need to do the best they can to clear the space onto this one. And Exo are ready to focus up, are ready to shift gears here. Here we go. Agamotto up front, locks some in place. Marvel in deep, deep trouble and will go down. A great start from Exo, but it's matched now by Z10. And now Exo are locking in.
Yeah, and just in time, too. It's a full ace onto Zero Tenacity. Soko's got the Doctor Strange, and they've got the time to make that play here. It is overtime for Exo to try and get to this checkpoint number 1, but now is all of Zero Tenacity online, and they have the time here to make the portal play, but I don't see it coming in there. There is a portal. There's the portal we were looking for, and now Z10 will make their way onto the point here, but Jerry picked off so early by the Phoenix here. They've lost one of their big damage outputs for Z10. Wendy's got the invisible boundary, but it is already back down to Marvel. Strangling Prison going down to Rester now. Fate of both worlds, and just in time here as they will melt Zero Tenacity down here. They're able to sustain through and stand on the point here. Last stand from Xe does find a couple of victims here. No KOs yet, but Rester will pick one up as that dance floor goes back offline. Wendy in some serious trouble as well on the Invis. Baser and Wendy got to go for a little bit of patty cake here to keep themselves alive, but big Rester on the Luna Snow, making a quadra KO there. Sung Wu and Z10 will come in big as well. 2:30 back on the clock for Exo. A miracle finish to checkpoint number 1.
Oh my days, what a way to get it done there. Resta locking in alongside their team and priming up to the occasion. At long last, they will find that first capture point and leave Z10 looking to recuperate their losses there and try and lock it down in the long run. But already they scout ahead and will spot them trying to take the high ground here, so have to be aware of that player trying to sneak behind them. Otherwise they could be in trouble. Sung Wu has that freedom charge, so they can barge in and shift the momentum very quickly. There it is.
Definitely going to be quite a swinging pendulum here, but Sung Wu goes in, fists and shield, swinging here. Zero Tenacity and let every ult they've got rip here. Apex Predator from Jerry is good, and again, a massive breakthrough here for Z10 on the defense here. Triple KO for Soko's Doctor Strange, and yet again, Exo sent back down in assembly line fashion to spawn here, and now Z10 got the opportunity to put some pressure on. They're going to push them right up to the spawn doors.
Right up to the doors, and they will be able to clean it out. So, going to be a solid way to position yourselves early into the piece here. But Exo, they've got 4, almost 5 ults to their name. They're ready to try and shift the direction of this one. But Wendy shutting down Z10 early is a good way to keep them locked in place here. Alone feels almost being captured as well. They're forced to regroup after losing a couple of members there, and this is great for Z10. Build more time, build more charge to get some more of your own ultimates into the piece here, and keep Exo locked in position.
Yeah, definitely gives them a chance to shore up the ult bank here. EXO gonna come back with a vengeance, though. 5 of them online, ready to go, and 30 seconds still on the clock here. Alone Phil's on the move, on the Wolverine. Big dive there. Soko sliced 2 ribbons here, sent down to the spawn, and Alone in trouble on the Wolverine there. A bit of resilience for him. Big Eye of Agamotto from Z10 as well. 3 stuns, and they will trade back and forth here. But EXO coming out on top. Double KO for 27 there on the Phoenix, and now EXO right back in it, but it is going to be under overtime, and Z10 plenty of time for them to recontest one more time.
Plenty more time to deliver a solid result here, and excited to see what else they're going to be able to cook up out of this one. As the OT timer now runs its course, and you know what else is going to be running? The Cutterfly, the Apex Predator, and better yet, even the Strangling Prison here. XC locks it down. Strangling Prison primed and good to go. Marvel has a marvelous approach into a triple KO. Enjoy the show, folks. Z10, get it done. GG.
Beautiful, beautiful timing for that ult charge. Best Strangling Prison we have seen all night. No questions asked. Holds him down, knocks him down, and EXO, no options for them to get back to the cart. Alone does go over to the Strange, but it is far too little, too late. Z10 will hold him just short of checkpoint number 2. So door to victory here. Map win number 2 for them is wide open here. They do need to walk through that door, of course. So opportunity for EXO to change up the comp here and go for some big defense, but Zero Tenacity definitely looking a lot more clean here on Yggdrasil Path.
Ooh, yeah, what a good way to get into the initial phase of the game there. Their defenses hold true. And Z10 looking to see if they can pull together an attack of a matched strength into this next phase as well. EXO going to have to lock in, or it could be GG's for real here. We know they have the capabilities. We know that they can manage to get things done here. They just have to believe in themselves. They just have to give it their all here. So, time to rise up and give it your best and go for the most blessed approach you possibly can. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, and it's not all doom and gloom here for EXO coming into this second half of the map, of course. They've got a lot of room to work with. I mean, 84 meters of checkpoint number 2 are all in their grasp, so they're not quite dangling off the edge of the cliff here. They do change things up, and they're going to go for some triple Vanguard, triple strategist, old school here on Yggdrasil Path. Meanwhile, XC on the Wolverine, sneaking up behind him, looking to make a big play and maybe make mincemeat of this team. He will find the kidnap there into the skies and delivers them to the rest of Z10. Can't quite convert just yet here, but a solid opening here as Z10 gonna look to just stay aggressive and finish this off quick.
Yeah, looking to hold on to that fiery approach we saw in the beginning phase there. Marvel already isolating the lines of sight and looking to clear them out piece by piece here. Sungjuk Woo doing the best they can to stay online here. Luckily, does get charged back up by their strategist there, and Alone Phil's will fall. This is not what you want on the EXO side. You need to hold on to all your crucial pieces. Regeneration Domain, feeling the pain as well, will go down, and you don't want to be locked into such a tight line of sight here. This only enables Marvel. You need to get the heck out of there and quick smart. Z10, they are going to be steaming ahead on that mission vehicle as well.
Yeah, and that's the plan here. Put a lid on EXO in that hallway there and just push that cart to the ends of the earth there. Big movement from Jerry as well, taking down Zatha, and now they'll deliver this first checkpoint. Marvel, big on the Groot here, double KO there. Finish off Rester as well. So Z10 on a warpath here, making a triple KO there for the Flora Colossus here, carving a path. Quadra Penta KO there, finishing off almost all of EXO single-handedly as they look for a last-second portal. No dice. Z10 almost 5 minutes on the clock now. What an insane play.
What insanity is being displayed before our eyes here, Diatonic? And there's more on its way as well. Z10, they ain't done yet. They're still pushing it up and not much distance to cover, but EXO, they need to dig deep to try and stop them here. They need to give it their best. Feral Leap's coming out. Apex Predator, oh no. Boundary gonna be matched though. 1-for-1 Rester. Good with the God of Mischief. Phaser online with the dance party as well. Sticking back for the second as Z10 is good with the Agamotto. Should it be required? Kumio unleashed from 278s. They're ready to try and make more space for their team. Agamotto around the back. Oh no! They get the double with the Maelstrom. It's all online for Zerko here. Oh my days! It's an absolute bloodbath over the mission area right now. Diatonic and EXO could be cleared out right here. Zerko is looking to try and stall them. It's up to Ace to get on the mission vehicle now, surely. And here they go. They're back.
I can't believe it. That has to be max distance on that Eye of Agamotto. The edge of the circle touching those couple members of EXO. And now Z10 gonna look to put the coup de grace on this map here. Eye of Agamotto from Zeta will find a couple here. One last gasp from EXO, but it is a whimper here as Z10 blaze through Yggdrasil path and are sitting on match point.
Match point. Can you believe it? Amazing work coming through from Z10 there. After that first map, they were angry, and that fury has been felt in such a big way here. Wendy gonna be taking away the MVP on the Invis this time around, but my goodness, we are on the edge of a series right here. EXO need to find a way back and quick, otherwise they are gonna be left behind.
Yeah, and I think you called it from the very beginning, Matt. So you said they were going to come into this angry, and no doubt they did. The scoreboard does not lie here. 30s almost all down the line for Zero Tenacity. It's Wendy on the Invis picking up the MVP, but can't overlook the Elsa in this matchup. Left on the table for Zero Tenacity, but not the player I would have expected to be piloting her. Jerry, 34 elims and 14 final hits, taking the most damage at 22k as well, considering they didn't play out the whole map here. Pretty solid numbers for them, but absolutely ruthless from top to bottom. Soko, insane on the Eye of Agamotto at the end. Marvel trapping him in the hallway there, just short of checkpoint 1. Exy, plenty of dives and kidnaps. I mean, you cannot overlook how powerful each member in this roster has been.
Oh my goodness, they are going to be them for sure, and there's so many players to decipher out of this map, out of this series alone. Huge stuff coming out from both sides there. Z10 locking it down on Yggdrasil path, claiming that map for their own here and pushing onwards to a third map. EXO need to find a solution and quick smart onto this third map.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just a little bit of a misstep at the start of the series there for Z10. They do take that first map, but took them a little while to get up and running, and now we see them here at full power on Yggdrasil path. Absolutely no quarter given to XOXO, and they did fight back. They did take some distance here on map number 2, but just not enough to withstand the might of Zero Tenacity here, and very tenacious is this team. A lot of grit and absolutely no mercy being shown here in this elimination match.
No mercy at all. You can't afford any mercy, especially at this stage of the tournament. It's make or break, you know. If you go down here, the road is over. So we are going to build up towards our third map right on the other side of this break, everybody. Don't go anywhere. This one is heating up.
Welcome back, everybody. Zero Tenacity on match point now. 2 maps to 0 against XOXO01. Just one more away from advancing to that lower bracket finals up against Pirates. What a matchup, and definitely a much more solid-looking Zero Tenacity there on Yggdrasil Path.
Absolutely, furthering their strength from what they built up in Hell's Heaven there and taking it to a whole other level. EXO dancing on the edge of this series right now. Need to find divine retribution, need to find a resurrection into this one, and this third map is going to be what decides it all. Where will we be placed in this one? Will I get my wish and we go to Kunlun? Will we go somewhere else entirely? It's all going to be up to them, my man.
I was about to say, we are on deck for Convergence now. We've played our Dom, we've played our Convoy, so definitely looking at where we're going to go next. You know, I hope you get your wish. I hope we get some Heart of Heaven, because maybe one of the most underplayed maps in the Asia region so far, so I'd like to see a little bit of that. But, you know, with EXO again picking the map for us here, never can be quite sure where we are going to go next, and never quite sure what they've still got in the tank here. Zero Tenacity in a safe position here. They've got the 2-map buffer, just one away, but you know, Z10, or excuse me, EXO have been changing things up on the fly all night long, so maybe they got one last trick up their sleeve here, but if they do, it is the time to put it on the table.
The time to showcase it in full view here, and very eager to see if there's any hidden wildcards that will be put on display into this one, Diatonic, because like you said, it's now or never. It's make or break the series. Could be at a end here unless EXO steps into high gear and shows us what they're made of. And I'm very excited to see exactly what they can bring into the swing there.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, no matter what, this was always going to be a tough match for EXO. This Zero Tenacity team has been taking names left and right since the beginning of preseason. Up until Reject defeated them last night, the only team that had their number was Pirates, and maybe not too surprising there.
Let's
so
go!
Looking for them to turn it around, and Matzy, you get your wish. We're going to Heart of Heaven for map number 3. EXO will grant your wish here. So we are on to some Kunlun action here, and I can't wait, because we have definitely not gotten enough of Heart of Heaven, but very characteristic of EXO, this kind of map. You know, can get pretty chaotic, especially ahead of that second checkpoint. You start going upstairs and there's openings in all directions. I mean, it is quite a hectic run.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. My wish has been granted. Who's the genie on that team? Because I am happy with this one. Heart of Heaven, at long last, we will see grace our screens once again. Oh, it's been so long. Welcome back. And, you know, if there's a spanner to throw into the works here, this is perfect for EXO. Maybe this catches Z10 by surprise, because, you know, not a lot of teams are thinking about practicing this map much anymore. So maybe this is exactly the kind of motion that they need here.
Right, and even if they are scrimming on Heart of Heaven, you know, there's a big difference between a scrim and an official match. You never know if they're really going to pull out all the stops in a scrim, so it's a whole different ball game here, as they are going to pick it right here on the Ignite stage, and, you know, it is a critical moment here for EXO. This is an elimination match, and they are down 2 maps. They gotta find a way to start turning things around, and I don't know, you might be right. Definitely a out of left field pick. Maybe not the most surprising for a team like XOXO01, but maybe that'll help catch them off guard.
Yeah, this could be exactly the recipe they need here to push themselves back into this series. So if you're an XOXO fan, you've got to have your hopes behind them here and now. They need to feel that energy, everybody. And if you're a Z10 fan, make sure you speak up as well. Feel that energy. Support your favorite teams here. They need it, and they appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, I mean, both of them come such a long way here throughout the preseason. Just a couple of games away from those grand finals for both sides of the board. But EXO now critical. Life bars blinking red as they are on their last life of their last life here. They cannot give any quarter to Zero Tenacity, because you see the tail of the tape there, 0-2. We are ready for map number 3. The draft phase comes first, of course, and the Gambit ban already on the table. Probably going to be a Mantis save here potentially for EXO, but yeah, we will see how this goes.
See how it goes, see how the draft flows here as it will be the Mantis Protect early for EXO into this one, as Z10 are looking to shut out Elsa to try and match, and should be able to get their own Mantis into this, so the draft will probably go as expected into the early phase here.
Yeah, again, you know, a lot of these drafts, especially here in the Asia region, we've seen these few icons pop up every single time. It's usually the last few where you start to see the variants here. So no Elsa Bloodstone for EXO, not a big shock there. Have to imagine they're going to ban out the Elsa because, yeah, Jerry on the Elsa can be just as scary as Exy, as we just saw go down. And Exy on the Wolverine, too, definitely a threat. So one duelist taken off the table for now. We got a simultaneous ban coming in here. A couple strategists being floated here, and they will come in. EXO's gonna ban the Ultron out, and Zero Tenacity take away the Invisible Woman. Maybe gonna make it one-sided here. Yep, that is the play. So one-sided invisible boundaries for Zero Tenacity.
One-sided boundaries. Will they be able to get over them? That's going to be tested here. Ultron also shut out early by EXO into this one, so good focus fire coming through from them there, shutting out the White Fox as well. So taking away some of the key pieces for Z10 here, but I mean, Z10, they're not a team that's shy of adaptation. You know, there's always going to be a recipe that they can bring to the table, depending on the draft that they're faced with here. So Loki going to be locked down for EXO as well. Z10 can just match it if they want to. I mean, there's no more bans, so don't need to worry about that. They will be able to shut out one more pick, though, and that could be strange. On a map like this, that's actually really big.
Yeah, there's some distance between the cart and a lot of the spawn rooms in a lot of situations, maybe more so than the other convergence maps in the pool. So no portal recontest opportunity for EXO-X-O-01. I definitely feel a little bit of impending doom with that showing up on the table, and maybe they'll be on the receiving end of a situation where they could have used the portal here, but we will have to wait and see. Maybe some role swaps coming in here for EXO-X-O-01. Sungjuk Woo is holding on to that Daredevil, of course. Normally we see him on the Duelist here, but he's been on Vanguard a lot here tonight in the playoffs, so we'll have to see what the plan is here, as they are going to be on the attack first. So Zero Tenacity is going to look to throw the gauntlet here, set the stage to see how far they'll have to go in the second half if they want to close this thing out in a sweep. But now is the time, EXO. If you've got anything left, something we have not seen yet, there is no better time to bust it out than right now, right here on map number 3, facing down match point against Zero Tenacity.
That's it. No better time than to bring out your best game face into this one, as we will be shaping up a preparation. Z10 locked on the high ground here, ready to stare down their enemies, and EXO ready to start the show here. Zeta going to be taking it easy on the Venom. Marvel might be looking to meet them. Give him a big hug around the corner there, but we'll be looking to fall back. EXO actually taking to the high ground themselves here. Z10 forced to regroup and see if they can provide some support to Marvel there. Luckily, we'll be able to keep them in the game, but I like this different approach from EXO here.
Yeah, they are changing the game here, but unfortunately, Zero Tenacity gonna stay the same, picking up right where they left off on map number 2. 4, 5 KOs. Rest are the only one, and still not even able to escape on the Mantis. Triple KO for Soko on the Doctor Strange, and even though the changes come through for EXO, Sungjuk Woo back over onto Duelist, and them going for the triple strategist, they are not able to crack the Z10 code quite yet.
Not going to be able to decipher this one. Maybe need a few more attempts to see if there's other code combinations that they can key in as to there. But it's time for the next stage of the attack here. Exy taking aim and will ignite the flames. Sungjuk Woo is down, and they're looking to pull through on the high ground with even more. Going to be faced by Azitha though, but they will fall back just as quick. A look to regroup here. Maybe not. Ace taken out of the place means they're staggered even more so in the KO department.
Yeah, and Exy here leading the charge for Zero Tenacity on the Phoenix, this time showing off a little bit more depth of that Duelist pool that he's got in his back pocket. Already a minute and 30 away for EXO, and it feels like they are stuck here on unstable ground, picked off before they can even get through the doors here into this courtyard to try to make it to contest this first point. So an uphill battle indeed as EXO back up and ready to go, but again, Exy picking off Ace on the White Fox so early. One one of those three strategists sent back almost right away. Sungjuk Woo in trouble as well here. Those spark stacks go off, stun him in place for just a second, but Zero Tenacity right now fully locked down.
Locked down, locked in, and ready to spin something to fruition here. Both teams are ready to blast into this one, all guns blazing, because we almost have a full stack of ults on every team right now. And Alone Feels is the first one. I took a bit there. Will bring the band hammer down. Marvel in a bit of trouble here. And will find the opening KO from Jerry. More to follow. EXO triple commit their ultimates here. It's Jeff coming out from a distance as well. Good Entong Inferno catches Resta off guard there. So one strategist discarded and maybe more to follow. Exy in a bit of trouble. Does catch the health pack, but Jerry not so lucky. Still doesn't matter. They're matching that tempo. Marvel bringing out the freedom charge there. Barging in. Z10 in a bit of trouble. Exy not the player you want to face in a 1v1, and they will be punished away from the mission area.
Yeah, Exy escapes that with 13 health, which coincidentally might be how many final hits he is sitting on at the moment, because KO after KO for the Phoenix here. A massive driver for this Zero Tenacity defense. It is an iron curtain that EXO cannot find a way through, over, around, under. They've tried everything here, and every single time from the rooftops, Zero Tenacity rained down the pain onto them. Couple more swaps for EXO. Ace is over onto the Magic now, so they're gonna go for two dual here instead of the triple strat. Sungjuk Woo gonna let the devil out here, but stop dead in his tracks, and Soko sends him to the maelstrom of madness here. Will follow it up there. Aggressive Doctor Strange plays here. Double KO, make it a triple. All of EXO off a line here, and there's gonna be 15 seconds or so for them to get back up. Unfortunately for them, no Doctor Strange portal. They will make a mad dash to the capture point, but I don't think they can make it, Matsy.
Oh no, Ace tries their best to crawl their way through on the Spidey, but the time is ticking down. They will make it though to the mission area, so the OT timer is primed. Arresta getting pushed out of place. A Beza does go down, so maybe semblance of a response here. EXO doing the best that they can. The Hulk trying to smash their way in. Sungjuk Woo focused on the backline. It might not be over just yet. They're matching them KO for KO into this one. So Coco's down. Alone Feels. Hello. Welcome back to the show here. Marvel trying their best to pounce around the mission area. Regeneration Domain will run its course too. But my goodness, EXO are finally back online. But it's portal time!
Jerry getting the team back up and in the fight here. Boots planted on the point. Just a second of overtime left here. EXO gonna have to grit and bear this Zero Tenacity return here as they're back in full force. Exy back onto the roof here and shooting down into the shooting gallery here. Soko will find one on the Mantis. Rester does unleash that Kumio, but not able to turn the tides here. Just an inch away from that second tick here, and Zeta gonna go for the Hulk smash here. Just trying to keep the team in the fight. They will find some KOs here, but Exy gonna deliver right back. Ace over onto the Spider-Man does find some value for EXO, and they're on the move. They might be able to get this time refresh here as the Hulk ult goes down here. World broken, and EXO will break through the Iron Curtain here. 2:30 back on the clock, and one more uppercut for the road for Zero Tenacity.
Oh my days, just when you think we're on the edge of the close there, EXO open this one right up and we'll push through the waterfall. So the series is still ongoing, folks, and Z10 need to lock it back in to try and stop them in their tracks here, as EXO will maximize themselves into this one. And they're not even done yet. The Devil's coming out, Diatonic, here we go.
One more, a Daredevil ult here from Sungjuk Woo. Soko overhead on the Doctor Strange. Plenty of airmail from the Sorcerer Supreme, and he'll deliver one more package here. One KO on it to Rester. White Fox sent back for now here in the body advantage. Back to Z10. Marvel gonna follow it up here on the Cap Wolf here. Moving different and going after any of the members of EXO. Still standing here. Alone Feels does have that Banhammer ready to go here, but it is not gonna stop Z10 as they are gonna look to lock down here ahead of checkpoint number 2. Soko dropping in to say hello on the members of EXO underneath the bridge, trying to move the cart on forward here as time slowly ticking away. Marvel will find Sung Juk Woo, Daredevil sent all the way back to Hell's Kitchen. It is a long way back to Kunlun here, and Z10 just gonna keep the hurt piling on. Exy, yet another KO on the other side of that Insong Inferno, and it feels like Z10 have quickly regained control of the chaos here.
Ooh. Thought that the KO was secured a little too quick there. We'll be able to lock it down in the end. Just shows how confident Exy is in themselves, right? And you gotta have that, especially at this stage of the game. Z10 are gonna be back online in Hulk form. Might be looking to Hulk smash soon, and they could even play into the World Breaker. But for now, Z10 holding firmly onto this one to have 4 ults to their name. Not gonna be able to shut it down. Speak too soon. Resta out of this one. Ace could follow, but no, they're traded straight back. EXO, good stuff going out from them. Freedom charge to keep Z10 into the game here. EXO doing the best they can to match them, even exceed them here. And it's Jeff coming at ya.
Yeah, this could be pretty big here. Does manage to grab one, grabs the Mantis, so they're going to send one off the edge here. Eye of Agamotto coming through. Soko gets stopped mid-eye, though. Does not make the play here as EXO again finding a miracle and getting back in control here. Zero Tenacity burned through several of their ultimates, and EXO got 3. Sung Juk Woo's got a double KO for you, though, here. On to the Daredevil yet again, looking to clear the path forward here on that Sonic Pursuit against Exy, trying to keep the deadly duelist from Zero Tenacity out of the equation for now, but it is going to be all under overtime, so one fight is all Z10 got to win here to stop EXO dead in their tracks, but maybe not quite done just yet. Another one, another double KO here for Sung Juk Woo. He's almost ready to let the devil right back out, finding Wendy in the corner here, trying to keep him pushed away, but now EXO still in control here, and they might get this second checkpoint.
Could be their time to prime up here as Exy does respond back, but will need to regroup with the rest of their team as they are isolated out of the fight. So just like that, capture point 2 locked in for EXO. My goodness, what a comeback that has been placed in by them there. Steaming ahead to the final stretch here. Just when you think they're out of it, they're right back in. And let's see if they can spin this one to fruition here. Z10 doing everything they can to stop them, but it might not be enough anymore.
Letting that devil out yet again here, and now they are looking at the finish line. EXO making it further than you may have thought possible from that first checkpoint. They've played under overtime twice and secured it both times in the clutch here, so they are looking to just clutch up all the way to the end here, but Exy's got a lot to say about that. Yet another double KO on the Phoenix. I cannot wait to see the in-game leaderboard, no matter who wins this thing, because those numbers are insane here. 30 seconds left to go for EXO. They don't have any ults online, but they are on a serious tear here ahead of checkpoint 3.
Rip and tear, they just don't care. Gonna be a flaring up to more. 27 A's, and we'll find out Beza and looking to clear more space. It's Jeff taking out plenty of punishment there. Soko good with the Agamotto waiting in place. Sung Juk Woo's on the Spidey. You know they're serious now and looking to do more. It's Jeff coming out. Here we go, Diatonic.
Doesn't manage to find the invis, but they take him right down there. 27 sitting back to spawn, cannot complete the meal here, and yet again, EXO find themselves in overtime for the 3rd time on this map. Their health bar's looking pretty low though for OT and Wendy, all the way back there on the Jeff, gonna snipe one down. Exy goes to the skies here for another Insong Inferno, and they are looking so low here. Jerry on the ground as well, onto the Daredevil. Zaytha, Hulk ult goes down, nobody's left on the card, and overtime takes away. But what a run for EXO-X01. 4 minutes used up to get that first checkpoint. They had to do it under overtime, and they almost made it there to the very end. So Zero Tenacity have quite a journey through Heart of Heaven here ahead of them.
My goodness. They're going to have to clear a lot of space now, maybe more than they initially anticipated here. So it really goes to show the tenacity coming through from EXO into this one, being able to push as far as they did there. Z10 gonna have to put in the hard yards to not just clear the first mission area, but to clear the whole darn convoy as well. And see if they can push up with a confidence here. I'm loving the hovers coming through from EXO onto this one as well. They were thinking about the Iron Fist, the Thor. Surely we could see something creative like that coming into this one, but no. The Fist will not be out today.
I was going to say, bringing Lin Lee to his home territory here, but no dice for EXO. They do have some changes coming through. Zaytha's on the cap here. Ace going to take the Hulk here, but a couple other things staying much the same. Sungjuk Woo is going to keep that Daredevil here as they're going to swap sides. So, we said going in here, Zero Tenacity on defense first. They set the pace for this map, and unfortunately, EXO do break through the boundary a few times here and push it much further than I would have ever guessed from the start here. So, a very resilient team in the face of that adversity, but how do they handle this? Xe on an absolute hot streak here on this map with the Phoenix. We will have to see if Z10 can push this thing all the way to the end, or if we're going to be looking at a map 4.
If we are, it would be legendary. It's time to find out, as we're already primed up. A trading player for player into this one. The KO feed lights up red as EXO will spread their reach far away from the mission area and look to take a Z10 away. Not going to be able to take aim at this one as yet. They're going to have to hold firm and play a bit more patient here. But Beza changing it up onto the Loki here could be the change they needed.
I mean, something I haven't really considered here is that EXO, they have almost nothing left to lose here. They are backed into the corner, so they are lashing out against Zero Tenacity, but a big surprise here from Soko on the Strange Portal. They'll sneak up on there and gets exiled for a moment here, but EXO are losing bodies left and right here. They cannot follow up on that big stun there. Overhead, though, Soko in midair here, a flying Doctor Strange for sure, as Z10 locking down this first checkpoint here. Overhead, Alone Fills on the Deadpool, trying to shoot down, make it a little bit of a shooting gallery here. EXO gonna have one last opportunity to hold this thing down, but Z10 dangerously close to unlocking this checkpoint. Soko will find another double KO here. Doctor Strange moving huge here. Triple KO. I've spoken way too soon, too many times about this Zero Tenacity team here. They are not ready to close this out just yet. Still 2:20 on the clock. They will get that cart unlocked and make it 4:45 for them to run to checkpoint 2.
A ton of time behind them here, and getting it done much more quickly than EXO did is going to net a Z10 a ton of flexibility into their further push here. And it's going to be the regeneration domain popped immediately as well. So good from EXO to bait that out of Z10 here. Having a little bit less in their arsenal, but I mean, Z10, they don't care. They're just going to be holding the forward space with confidence, managing to get bodies onto the mission vehicle there. Now EXO trying to meet them, greet them. It's Jeff coming out.
Once again here, EXO on the move early on in this unfolding fight. They find Marvel still holding that freedom charge, so one member of Z10 already offline, though. Big quick stun there from Xe on the spark stack proc. Finds several members of EXO as they are grouped up yet again here, and you know what happens when you group up against the Phoenix. You get the flames here. Alone Fills taken out, and now EXO gonna pop ults. It's an ult fiesta here. Both sides of the board popping what they got here. Soko's got an eye of Agamotto that finds a little bit of a stun, but cannot quite convert on it. Banhammer from Zaytha and Sungjuk Woo letting that devil out yet again over and over here on Heart of Heaven. Trying to find heaven here is EXO01, trying to find a way through this Zero Tenacity team. Baser and Marvel, though, back in the KO feed for Z10 here, trying to even the odds, but a little bit of slowdown here that Z10 going to try to pick themselves back up from it. It is the Loki here that's carving the path for Z10 to continue this run. 3 minutes on the clock, and they are on the move.
A great change up, and it earns them so much a difference in their favor. So Z10 going to be taking advantage of that more and more as they will carve that path deeper and deeper. Speaking of, it's going to be Ace in a bit of trouble right now. Marvel bringing out the freedom charge as well, getting KOs in their favor. Onwards for the double and looking to creep for more as they will focus up on the back line there. Soko joining in the KO feed. Sungjuk Woo could get isolated here, as a matter of fact. There they will. So great staggered KO gets them much more distance over the mission vehicle here, and EXO forced to play reset.
Yeah, you see EXO trying to run away there, rounding the corner, but Marvel on that Catwolf with that Hunter's instinct there will find a res tur, beats out the White Fox, and already Zero Tenacity just pushing as far as they can here, trying to clear that path, because even once they get this second checkpoint, there's still some more to go here. Jerry on the Mantis will take down Ace's Venom here, and they are getting dangerously close to checkpoint number 2. Couple ults ready to go for EXO, but also Zero Tenacity got some in the tank here as well. The Banhammer comes out first from Zeta. That spawns a whole new ult fight here over at Xe on the Insong. Inferno will find one. Jerry gets a crit, and Marvel will find another one here. Dance of the Butterflies now for Alone as he's over onto the Psylocke now, but it's a triple KO for the Phoenix. Unreal from Xe this map. KO after KO. I've lost track of how many times I've seen Xe come up in the feed.
They're a highlight star player for a reason, and they are one you can rely on. If you're Z10 right now, gonna be happy with that. And it looks like EXO are looking to change things up. They've got the Groot online now, looking to play into their team-ups as well. And see if this is going to be the defensive boundary they need in order to get past the things here. Now, Kumiho unleashed into the Agamotto, trying to lock them down in place there. Soul Resurgence coming up from Jerry as well. They immediately will take down Rezda and are looking to find more where that came from. The hammer comes down from Ace there as they clear the space. They spot Sunjuk Woo onwards for the flank. Going to get the KO in the bank. A good reaction from Xe and Co there. Now slice and dicing their way through the front line and a priming up for more. It's just a single target KOs. A domino effect from Z10 here.
I'm just gonna say the reaction time from Xe, unreal, like tracer accuracy, just insane on this Phoenix all map long here. Zero Tenacity holding a lot of cards. They've got 2 minutes left, a couple of ults, and obviously in control of the mission vehicle here. So uphill battle yet again for EXO, but they have fought hard all map long here, and Sunjuk Woo's got to let this devil out here. Gotta let Zero Tenacity know they will not go down without a fight here. Can't break through as Zero Tenacity brace for it. Zeta's got a strangling prison, captures 3 there, as you can see, but they will play right on through. Xe goes for another Insong Inferno and finds yet another member of EXO caught off guard. That time sent back to spawn yet again and making a double KO yet again for the Phoenix here. Soko's got one on the Maelstrom of Madness here too. It's a 1-4-2 favoring Zero Tenacity, and they are now looking at the finish line of this series here. I have Agamotto for Soko is a miss here, but Marvel, again, so huge on this Captain America, and I think Matsi, EXO running out of time here.
Running out of options. Time is dwindling by the second. Got a mischief looking to come out from Rezda. Soul Resurgence going to be matched by Beza there as well. Rezda may yet get pushed out of it. There we go. Marvel will exceed them speed past and will find 27As clearing out the whole Dart Strategist lineup. The BRB will at least bring 27As back, but it's Z10 gaining further control of this one. They dive in and try their best to sustain through it, but Z10 are just burning them down, and there we have it, folks. Z10 get it done, take away the series. 3, 2, nada.
And with still 36 seconds on the clock, they close it out. A full sweep here, and Zero Tenacity, welcome to the lower bracket finals. They are moving on here, and EXO a heartbreaker here as they will take the 0-3 loss and are sent out of the preseason. Xe, the MVP, undoubtedly here on this map. Remember the name because it was on your screen multiple times all throughout this matchup, and there it is. The 3-0 completed by Zero Tenacity. My word, 69 eliminations and 32 final hits, 47k damage. You very rarely see numbers like that.
Oh my days. They're going for the records on this one, my man. Holy moly. That is a absolute boatload of eliminations to their name. Final hit as well as damage. Just huge impact being made by Xe and their squadron there. And a big shout out to Sunjuk Woo as well, taking away 12 finals for their team. A well-earned SVP there. And as you can see, some of the highlights out of this series being displayed right now, and there was a ton.
Yeah, again, same thing as last map. I have to give props to the replay operator here. No idea how you pick exactly what went down here, because though EXO did drop this map, they had some big plays here too. They would battle back through a lot of adversity, but unfortunately just caught underfoot of Zero Tenacity here. And honestly, you can make a separate highlight reel of Xe plays alone, of Marvel plays alone as well on the Captain America. I mean, both of them truly big players here for this Zero Tenacity Tenacity squad moving unlike anything I have seen out of them so far in this preseason. So again, establishing themselves as one of the top dogs here in the Asia region, and now they've got a chance to fight for grand finals. Of course, their fate is in the hands of that matchup against Pirates next.
The rematch of the ages, Diatonic, the revenge story into motion there. Will they be able to redeem themselves against their rival? They'll be rivals to the end of time, that's for sure, and I'm eager to see which team's going to be primed up on the given day, because that one is going to be in store for us tomorrow. And oh my goodness, what a timeline we're living in with these matches.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, my Preds are in shambles now completely. Really, how could you have predicted? Yeah, I mean, how could you have predicted some of what we've seen here tonight? You know, Zero Tenacity down here in the lower bracket this soon was not something I saw coming. Definitely would not imagine that there's going to be a matchup where either Pirates or Z10 are going to be sent home ahead of the grand finals. I mean, absolutely insane stuff here in the Asia region, and, you know, have not disappointed once again. I cannot find a win here in these predictions, and I don't even think my OCE ones will save me either.
Oh, mate, I'm right down in that well with you. That's all I'm saying. I'm all over the shop. It's going to be a tough battle ahead. Maybe I'll be able to redeem OCE in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's the love of the game, isn't it? You know, love to get the predictions through. If you get 100%, then you truly are an oracle worthy of that in-game title there. That's for certain.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that even Doctor Strange can't peer that many possibilities into the future to see what we are seeing here. So a fantastic win here for Zero Tenacity. They keep the dream alive here in the lower bracket, and we do say goodbye to XOXO01 once again here. But again, great stuff from them all preseason long. No doubt they are going to be locked in and ready for a run when they come back in a stage 1. But it is Zero Tenacity's day here today, and you know, we're on standby here. We are going to hear from Zero Tenacity because obviously a lot for this team to say ahead of a couple of big matches in front of them. But yeah, I mean, cannot believe, you know, I thought we'd get a map win, maybe 4 or 5, but they shock me too, and they close it out in 3.
My goodness, you know, XO looked so good there. They managed to claw it back after the OT on the first capture point, pushed it almost all the way to the end on the next phase there, and then a Z10, they match that energy and they drive it home all the way through there. So just absolutely fantastic game coming through on both sides of the coin there, and really impressed with how Z10 have managed to clean things up and redeem themselves, but one and the same how XO have managed to prove themselves that they've got it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we saw them, you know, push teams to their limits and push themselves to their limits, you know, role swaps coming in. These players, you know, changing hands just to try and find a new way through, and it does get them this far, but Zero Tenacity, a very smart team, a lot of draft intelligence, a lot of good chemistry built very quickly for this team, and they're able to adapt and play right on through. That lands them in that lower bracket finals spot where, you know, again, they will have to take on their newly emerging rivals in Pirates, and no doubt that one will bring down the house as well. But you know, the seats kind of in flames here, smoldering a little bit, as we have seen some insane matchups in the back half of this broadcast, and Z10 cap it off with such a big win on Heart of Heaven, especially considering that EXO, you know, those couple of miracle overtime pushes, they were able to just keep that run alive. So, you know, again, no matter what kind of adversity you put in front of this team, they will find a way to elegantly overcome it.
And that's the beauty of a pro play, isn't it? You know, you have to find your ways to adapt and quickly. And the fact that that has been put into full focus there just showcases how strong these players are and how good they can be. So amazing to see our players reach their potential. But, you know, this is just the beginning of the road in the preseason. There's going to be more on its way as the year goes on. Don't you worry. If you think it's good now, you don't even know what's in store later.
I was going to say, we talked about it a couple times during some of the breaks tonight, but, this preseason has been some of the absolute best Marvel rivals that we have ever seen. I've been watching since the Season 0 MRC, almost every single tournament, almost every single match, and I can tell you undoubtedly, this is a different kind of rivals. These teams are here to win, no holds barred, and no matter what region you're watching, because we've already seen some heaters out of Oceania as well, so across the board, matches insane, teams upsets left and right, surprises around every turn, and at this point, really, almost every bracket I expected to go one way has gone the complete opposite, so it has been an insane ride, and of course, it's still not over yet, still one more night of Asia playoffs to come, and still a whole other week of Oceania action before we hibernate a little bit ahead of stage 1, but yeah, you're right. I mean, if you thought this was crazy, be sure to lock in, whether you're watching in-game on the esports tab, on the official YouTube or Twitch, subscribe, please lock in, because there is so much more where that came from.
Couldn't agree more, and make sure you get the esports bundles as well to support some of your favorite teams out of your respective regions there. We got the Pacific bundle, Gen G represent there on the OCE side, and Reject represent on the Asia side here, and both of those teams have been looking really confident on the last couple of days of competition there, so there's a reason that they've got bundles behind them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, Gen G, I've seen them a little bit in action already, and they are definitely here to win as well. And, we won't get the full Pacific action here in the preseason. Asia and Oceania won't cross paths quite yet, but this is kind of the training arc for these teams to get ready to face off against each other. So I definitely am looking forward to it. And again, like you said, the Reject bundle, I imagine maybe they're starting to sell out of those, because definitely a couple heaters for that Reject squad here over the past couple days.
That's it, but right now, everybody, we have something special in store. We're going to welcome in one of our winners for an interview. Welcome in Beza, the GOAT. How you feeling after that match, mate? What an absolute thriller.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Thank you guys for having me again. After losing, going to the lowers, kind of breaking through it all today, feels really good, setting us up for tomorrow. Excited.
That's awesome. I mean, we got to see you guys play in the clutch a lot tonight. Several heaters, lots of overtime, big plays. I'm curious, kind of, what do the comms look like? Like, how do you guys approach communication when the match gets as tight as it was some of those times? I have to imagine it's chaos.
It seems a little bit chaotic, but honestly, when it boils down to it, we're all very focused, like always swimming the same target, and it's high energy, and, it's not exactly what you'd think. It's kind of worse when it's not as chaotic. But the more tense it gets, we are able to lock in and focus hard.
Gotcha. Nice.
Exactly what you want to be seeing from you guys there, and I guess your eyes are set forward now to the big moment, the big rematch against Pirates. How are you guys feeling heading into a series of that caliber? Do you think you can do it this time?
Yeah, I think the past couple of matches, especially even our first matchup against them in the qualifiers, and our loss against Rejects, it opens our eyes a lot. I mean, being able to take what you can from a loss is what is really going to make us be ready and be prepared for tomorrow in our rematch against both those teams. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got a good look at Reject tonight, and kind of looking like a totally different team from the beginning of the group stage. So, do you guys feel like you have had a lot of progression here throughout the preseason, like you've come together as a team and kind of evolved, leveled up like they have too?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the meta, we've been up and down, going, from doing so well into the qualifiers, losing to a team we beat. I mean, it's just a bunch of figuring ourselves out, figuring out what we want to play for, and understanding these teams that have also been doing the same exact thing. So I'm excited. I hope tomorrow is going to be just two really good matches of, hopefully map 5s, map 7s. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's what I want to.
That's it. Well, if today's any good indication, I'm sure we're going to be eating real good heading into the last day of play here into the playoffs. So want to say a big shout out to you and your team for taking the victory here today. Thank you so much for joining us for the interview here as well. Best of luck to you guys. You're going to crush it, I believe, and I'm sure your fans believe too. You got this.
Nice. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.